In the biblical story of Abraham, God commands him to sacrifice his son. He finds his faith tested during the 3-day journey to the mountain of Moriah. It is a familiar story as believers prepare to celebrate God doing just that for us, sacrificing his only son to restore us to a right-standing relationship with him. Abraham's story is the perfect fit for Angel Studios' first theatrical release, His Only Son. It's in theaters right now.
Abraham, Lord, take now your son and go to the land of Moriah, and there offer him.
I sit here with you guys are behind The Chosen, and we're talking about Abraham. Is the Bible that interesting?
The Bible is that interesting.
The Lord came to me last night.
What?
He says we are to go to Moriah, you and I, and make a sacrifice to him there.
Abraham's is particularly interesting, and filmmakers have been unwilling to hit Abraham because they consider it a problematic story. It's this story of a father being asked to sacrifice his son. And David Helling just courageously just goes right at it. He just dives right into everything from the situation of the sacrifice to the family dynamics. The whole entire thing unfolds. And then he built something that's beautiful, deep, and meditative.
All this commotion, so early. Abraham.
What is it that drew you in?
It's a beautiful journey of someone who has a lot of doubts, and just watching the love of her life go through this constant, volatile, emotional state, and giving into this idea that we are all part of a bigger journey, and then believing in that, and then committing to that.
Isaac and I will go alone.
Why, Isaac?
Because the Lord commands it.
Make sure no harm comes to our son.
Where did you go to dive in to understand her?
I feel like what was wonderful about this was that I had someone like David to guide me through not just the scripture part of it, which he refers to as the bones of it, but also the nuances of the character.
Since we first entered this land decades ago, I've seen the bonds of protection the living God has placed around you.
He has promised to make of me a great name, a great nation.
We haven't even a son.
We will.
How long have we tried?
Why is the Lord having you trickle this way for a sacrifice?
How do you prepare and put flesh on the bones for this story?
You always want to enter in and understand the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, of knowledge, and of understanding. So you enter in prayerfully, then you study, and then you begin to see where else in Scripture is pointing to this account of Abraham's life, and what is this account pointing to? Then you build onto that.
The Lord has set us on this path. He will guide us.
How do you become Abraham?
All my concern was like to make Abraham be human, because I feel that like regardless if it's like 2,000 years ago or now, or like in 2,000 years, like everyone who watches this movie can relate.
I will not stand in your way.
You're not standing in the way. You're standing on my side.
Having Nicholas be such a generous and gifted actor allowed me to just let loose and explore different parts, different corners, and get really, really deep.
You're my wife. We must cling to our faith.
What made you say yes to playing Abraham? What happened?
Mainly what made me say yes was the audition scene. When I read it, I was like so emotional reading it. I was like tearing up while reading the lines. So I said, yes, I definitely want to do this.
David, how did you know this was your Abraham?
Looked at 1,700 different applicants. No one fit the bill, so I immediately started praying. Found this guy. It was exactly like I pictured it whenever I wrote the script.
This road belongs to Abimelech, king of Pelisath.
I know who owns this road. I have given your king plenty of tributes.
What is your name, old man?
Abraham.
Chart the course of His Only Son for me.
We put it in front of the Angel Guild. The Angel Guild is a group of 90,000+ angel investors who are part of this group, this community whose mission is to find the stories and greenlight the stories that amplify light in the world. And it passes one of the highest marks we've ever seen. Just watching it, you realize like this isn't a movie that it shouldn't be on a laptop. It shouldn't be on a phone. It needs you to disconnect and surrender your devices, surrender your distractions, and have a one-on-one experience with Abraham.
Why go all this way? Go through all this effort?
He has us do this in remembrance that death is the penalty for sin.
This movie is so strong as a story that it has muscled its way up to 2,000 theaters, even in spite of the fact that all these gigantic blockbusters are all around it.
Is anything too difficult for the Lord?
Our bet as Angel Studios is that audiences are sick of big and loud right now, and for Holy Week, they want to tone it down, and they want to have a deep experience.
The Lord chose that man out from the wicked, that hope may endure.
Take me!
Again, His Only Son is in theaters right now, and its creators, Angel Studios, is the same house behind the hit series, The Chosen. We'll have more on tonight on Studio 5. Plus, Roma Downey's LifeWorks company is releasing a new film based on the real-life miracle story of a passenger who was forced to land a plane after the pilot dies upon takeoff. And PureFlix has a film that challenges faith on the baseball field. We're going to have a look at running the bases. You can catch an all-new edition of Studio 5 on the CBN News channel tonight at 8:30 Eastern. You can also download the CBN News app or watch it on YouTube.